Welcome back to Kitchen Protocol. Thank you for joining us once more. I realized last time that we've only been using vegetables and eggs for our recipes, so we're going to make things right today. We're going to be making a dish that we've probably all had late night. It always hits the spot. It uses beef and lamb, and it's a doner kebab. So let's jump straight into it. So for our recipe today, we will be using ground lamb and beef. We have a shredded onion that will integrate into the meats. We have ground coriander seeds, we have paprika, we have ground onion powder, we have oregano, we have black pepper, we have cumin, and salt. So these are the base ingredients. We'll integrate them all into the mix, and then we're going to treat the meat as a flat layer. So first, we're going to start by taking our meat, and we're going to be integrating the grated onion into our bowl. Once that's all in, we're going to go in with all of the spices and we'll give them a good massage. That is ground coriander seeds, that is ground sweet paprika, this is onion powder, this is our black pepper, this is oregano, this is cumin. I'll leave the ingredient portions on the description down below. And this is salt for our meats. Once we have them all together, we're just going to merge and mix until smooth, until blended. And we'll go from there. With this method, we don't really need to have a spit and actually form the kebab onto a spit and roast them. What we're going to do is we're going to place it on top of some parchment paper and make it into a very thin layer that we can put into our oven and then cook at high temperature so it caramelizes and it roasts until cooked through. The temperature for it to be fully cooked through is probably around 160 degrees. So we're going to go ahead with that process, and we're going to preheat our oven to 425 degrees and then use a rolling pin and spread it evenly until the thickness is around 1/4 inch. Now that we have it rolled out, we basically have a very flat layer of meat that we can take the parchment paper top layer from. So we allow direct contact with heat while it's in the oven. Once we roll that up, and we can pick it up and place it in our tray that we're going to be using for the roasting. There are some options here. You can actually place it directly in the pan, or you can roll it up as if you were making a small burrito in this way, so the layers are separated by paper and you unroll it once it's all fully cooked. I'm going to go with the easy way, so I'm just going to place it in the tray as such, and we're going to let it cook at 425 probably for 12 to 15 minutes, checking probably around the 12th minute to see how done it is, so it doesn't overcook, dry out, and become too crispy. What you want to see is a little bubbling, a little fat being released, and the meat cooked through. So what you want to be left with is an even sheet of the meat, as you can see here. I left a little bit of a flap on the side of that parchment paper, so it's easier for me to pull out once the meat is fully cooked, and I can remove it from the tray. Now we're gonna go put it in the oven, and we're gonna wait for those 12-15 minutes until it's completely done. While the oven is heating up, we should do a little cleanup here. And now we'll place our tray in the oven and start a timer for 15 minutes. Don't forget to keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. So for our tzatziki, we're going to be using a cup of Greek yogurt, full fat if possible, salt, pepper, a couple of cloves of garlic, minced. We're going to grate our cucumbers. In this case, I'm using 2 small ones. You can use a large one. and we're going to grate them, but that's not the end of it with them. We have to squeeze all the water out of them, so we'll drain them, and then we'll add the juice of half a lemon as well as some lemon zest. So you can see how much water they drain as soon as you're done with the grating. What we're going to do is we're going to scrape all of the contents of the solids here of the cucumbers and give them a really good squeeze. If you have some cheesecloth, you can do this as well with some cheesecloth, just to drain all that water out so it doesn't water down our yogurt sauce or tzatziki. So you should be left with just that, probably worth half a cup of just the cucumber shreds. And now we have our shredded cucumbers. They're going to still continue to release some water, so to help them with that, and before mixing any of our other ingredients, we're going to salt them briefly. So I'm just going to add like a pinch of salt there to help them release the rest of the water. And then we're going to stir to distribute that salt evenly. I'm going to let them sit here for a minute while we're preparing the rest of our ingredients. So now we're going to grate our garlic into our bowl, then add the juice of half a lemon, add our Greek yogurt into it, give it a good stir, season with salt and pepper. We'll finally blend in the cucumbers in it. I will be adding another pinch or two of salt towards tzatziki. We can season a bit later if it needs a little bit more. And I will be adding some freshly ground black pepper, probably about a quarter of a teaspoon. Once that is all smoothly integrated, we're going to add our cucumbers, and the end result should look like that. As always, when the mixing is done, we'll just give it a little taste and see if it needs a little bit of salt, pepper. I think it's perfect with salt and pepper. It needs a little bit more lemon, so we'll adjust at this time. Lamb can be quite fatty, so the lemon and the yogurt with their acidity as well as the cucumbers help cut through that fattiness. So the final product of the tzatziki looks like this. It is a little bit runny. If you prefer it runny, that's perfect. If it's too thick for you, you can add a little bit of water. If you prefer it thicker, you can add a little bit more of yogurt. That's perfect. We've adjusted saltiness, acidity, and it's really good right now. The texture of the cucumber is fantastic in there too. So we're just going to wait until the meat is done, pull it out, and start preparing the doner kebab. So 12 minutes have gone by, and we have our lamb perfectly cooked. There is quite a bit of fat that is rendered. So now let's move it over to our prep area and get things ready. Now what I like to do at this point is grab our pita bread and put it on a rack. And since our oven is still hot, we can use that heat to heat this pita slowly without toasting it too much, but it'll be ready right on time after we're done just preparing our toppings for our sandwich. So I'm just gonna go into the oven with it for probably 5 minutes. Just keep it warm. Now, traditionally, I think the toppings for the sandwich would be tomatoes, onions, and some lettuce. I just happened to have some shredded lettuce from lunch, so I'm gonna reuse that. And I'm going to replace the onions with shallots. I really enjoy the flavor of shallots on the sandwich, so I'm just gonna slice them thinly so we can use them to top our sandwich. And that should do. They have a quite intense flavor, so I'll just leave that to you to decide how much you add to your sandwich. Those slices will come off really thinly, and we can use them on top of the sandwich. And now we're going to do a little bit of a rough chop for our tomatoes. I like to do thinner slices. It can go, and you can still feel them while you bite into the sandwich. And that should do for our toppings. So I guess it's time to start assembling the final sandwich. So from here, the sandwich will be assembled pretty quickly. So what I'm going to do is just pull out of the tray our cooked beef and lamb mix. The parchment paper should make it quite simple to slide off. There you go. Just put that aside. And then you have one thin layer. So you can portion it, slice it vertically, which will make it easier to fit into the sandwiches you're about to prepare. And at this point, we can give it a taste, see how it went with seasoning. It pulls off. It's super soft, it's savory, it's really well spiced. And now we have two options. We can actually put it in the oven again for it to crisp up a little bit. You can use some of the fat that you have from the cooking, or you can just leave it as is and put it in your sandwich. Either way, it'll be delicious. I'm just gonna leave it as is. I think the texture is perfect. So I'm going to pull the pita from the oven and start assembling. Just go down the pita, cut it in half, and then just go inside and quickly open the pita. So you have a little pocket like that. And this is where we start assembling our sandwich. So what I'm going to do is just add a few slices of a kebab beef and lamb. You can make it as thick or as lean as you like. Just gonna assemble it in here. And then we'll go in with some of our toppings. Perfect. And that's pretty much it. So you have a delicious combination, and the only thing left to do is to bring in our tzatziki, give it a quick stir, and just add generously on top of our rest of our ingredients. And now we're ready to give it a try. It looks incredibly good. We're all familiar with this site. It's messy, it's soft, it's beefy, lamb meat, crunchy because of the onions, lettuce, tomatoes. It's incredibly good. Let us know if you give it a try. Let us know if you like the recipe. And we hope to see you again soon in the next one. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us with the algorithm.